Okay, everybody, all aboard. We're about to cast off here on this
Yes,
beautiful Sunday
life.
afternoon
Yeah,
with the captain and Swab and the
right.
crew.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Do
good.
not go into the wheelhouse to bother with the captain.
hmm
Life
hmm
jackets are on the port side and starboard side. And if you happen to see the captain swimming away from the vessel, get your butt off the boat because that's probably your first sign that he's going to save himself first. Got it.
Yes.
All right. Now that we got all that clear. Yeah. If you see me doing
If the captain's
backstrokes,
swimming away from the boat, it's
yeah,
time to leave, you
yeah,
know?
probably something's gone on. Not good. You should probably evacuate. So, B Man,
Dad, good to see you.
you too.
I've been missing you all week, man.
It's the only time we get to see each other. I don't know why,
hmm
that is. But we
Well,
don't
we
live
got
that
some
many hours.
chats going where I want you to come out here. I want to go to the farm. It was really good to see your last video. I just love what you talked about. I'm just all big picture lately with crypto and life and everything else. And it's just instead of me getting all scared and nervous and what's going to happen, I
Yeah,
actually feel really good and really confident and really kind of excited again for the future. Even
yeah,
though, yeah, you look in the media and you look everywhere, and it's always it always looks a little crazy, a little roller coaster. But I don't feel that way. I don't
mm,
like. I've intentionally kind of just looked at bullet points and things, and tried to really be both sides about everything. And it's like it's cool because when you lead into conversations like that, I had a really good chat with you this morning and good chat with Sean this weekend. And it really, when you start from a place in the middle and you hear what your buddy's got, these gold nuggets, and then what dad's on about, and then you kind of put it together. And I'm not nervous right now. This isn't nervous time. This is like building up. This is us going up the roller coaster time, and it's not gnarly on the other side. This is like fun. This is like we're riding Goliath back in the day, Dad, at Six Flags, right? Where you're
yeah,
climbing up to the top and you're just like, dude,
yeah,
this is gonna be hairy on the other side of this thing.
yeah.
Um, I'm fired up. I am
There's
so fired up about crypto.
there's so much going on around us all the time. Most
Mhm.
of it negative. People keep, for some reason, I think I'm some kind of springboard for their negativity or their tinfoil hat wearing application. Oh, I've got to share this with Alan, and it's really it's. I mean, I get it, I understand it, and we are in trying times, but it's only trying if that's what the information which you're focused upon.
Right.
And I've proved that in my own life in so many different ways and so many different times that it's just like, wow, okay. But I have friends around me who are really going through a lot of turmoil right now because all they're doing is focusing on, the whole Trump got shot and the whole, oh my God, the elites. And then they turned off the computers and they have the ability to do so. And it's like, well,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, man. But, you know, uh, go out and pet your dog, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
immediately. As soon as you
Mhm.
read that stuff, go out, sit under a shady tree, have some your favorite beverage,
Mhm.
and just pretend that you didn't read any of that crap at least a few moments of the day because man, you just get it gets heightened and then it becomes you and then you're tense and then you don't know why you're all locked up. You're like yeah, like a tin cup folding chair or whatever the heck. But I
Exactly.
will I will say this. I've never been more optimistic about crypto than I am today. Never, ever, ever, ever.
Same.
And if they crash the whole system, they bring the whole system down. I can tell you that one of the things they're going to use to bring it back up is going to be crypto. Like, hello, that's not even maybe anymore. Two of the three presidential candidates have already sworn, like, I'm in. Count me in. I'm not going to ban this. I'm not going to. In fact, I'm in favor of it. So
when you look at what needs to be corrected in countries, like not just the U.S., everybody, we're in the live. This is all countries.
Yeah.
You need in an economy, you need a boost in industry, right? You want the ability to have private ownership, so the government just isn't down your throat and up your ass about
That's right.
everything that you buy and accumulate, and they get a cut of it. That was made a total mess in our country, about 100 years ago. It was just we went on that course that we were headed for taxation, and we were headed for government take what you have. And it's self custody is such an important part. It's such an important component of what crypto blockchain is and does. And us understanding that and really kind of enforcing it with how we use it and how we transact in the future, psychologically, I think is just going to be is so important, Dad, for everybody to just get that. And for you brought that up to me this morning, that was brought up, as a speaking point at this conference. It's self custody has to happen. It has, like, that is, and then on the other side of that, it's like, okay, you guys can have self custody, but we're going to tax you 40%, and so we need that. There's like a two front battle politically, with this thing with crypto, and that's kind of what I'm looking at from a distance. I'm just kind of standing back, being like, okay, how do all of us feel about it? How do we discuss it? What's going to happen with it? What are the politicians going to try to ram down our throat?
We're at that. I think it was Gandhi, right, that said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, and then they go to war with you, and then they give up or pretend it was their idea, right?
Right.
I think the war is ending. I felt that way for a while now. Like, it doesn't seem like Mr. Gensler has any traction anymore. It seems like senators and Congress people are coming after him instead of them coming after us. I think we went through what I hope is the worst of the 3 or 4 past years, because of, I'm not even going to say just because of bad actors like Sam Bankman. I'm going to say more of the bad actors like Elizabeth Warren and Gensler, and I'm even going to put Biden under that heading as well, because it happened under his watch that people went to prison and people were fined. No matter what you think of CZ, the man created Binance. Okay. I don't care what you think of the man. He allowed millions of people all over the world to obtain coins that are worth more than they were when they bought them. That's huge. All over the world, when nobody else could sell them or buy them or had access to purchase them. Then, in good faith, they bring him he comes to the United States. They fine him $4 billion or over $3, fine him. And everything looked like he wasn't going to go to prison or any of that stuff. I'll pay my fine. Let me just go home and go back to where I'm from. And I think he lives in Dubai. And then they throw him in prison for 3 months on top of the $4 billion they stole from this guy. Now, he clearly had some really bad lawyers. I don't know. But here's a man that doesn't even, he's Canadian. He's not even American.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even living in the United States. And the US reaches out and takes $4 billion and incarcerates this man. And that's the regime of the war that I was talking about that looks like, I hope, is over. It's an era that we will look back upon. And isn't it odd? Like Uber had its growth pains, right, in the beginning, where limo drivers and cab drivers didn't want it, but they didn't steal $4 billion from the guy who created Uber or incarcerate him. So
Right.
that leads to the proof, to me, of its validity as proving its case for the future of mankind, how important this product is to us all, because those were the high stakes in which were played. And now, so far, 2 of the 3 US candidates have come out massively in favor of cryptocurrency. This is a big turning point in history. And
Yeah.
we don't know yet what Miss Harris is going to come out and talk about, or is she in favor? Is she going to keep going with that negative regime angle, or, is she going to?
Crypto is for criminals.
We don't know yet.
We don't know. We do not know that. Like, that's just speculation.
Yeah, it is.
But that's been kind of the talk about it. Why we've joked about, like, you all have been here, a lot of you have been here with us for a long time now. We've joked about, we're the money launderers, right?
Yeah.
That whole crypto is for criminals thing it's just such a joke to all of us in here that you're gonna convince the people that aren't in crypto, the everybody else who's not us, that is literally like, you can't trust that. Government's telling you can't trust that. And then they're going around and they're purchasing it and they're carrying out this plan that people like CZ are literally, getting steamrolled by when they tried to get in and do it a certain way. It's running them over. The lies don't make sense to us because we're in it. We're the ones thinking about it and talking about it and investing in it and living it and believe in it.
Yeah.
And we believe in doing it in a way and in a fashion that is going to advance humanity. Like you said, Dad, it's like he created, something that is actually more valuable to the people who invested in it than what it was, when they had less. It's, if we can even just make little jumps, if we can make singles and doubles in the future in this game, though that leads to wins.
Yeah, we are making singles and doubles, and finally, I mean, all you have to do is study crypto for a little bit and understand its decentralization. Well, like I talked about in my last video, it's finite, and man has never really understood what that meant. And I get it, because almost everybody who's on the outside looking in at crypto, they go, well, they just printed those out of thin air, Alan. They can just print more of them. Well, no, you don't understand. Like, you could print different ones, but you can't print those, right?
Right.
And that's what has to be understood. And once they get that, then they're in. Then they're like, oh, wow. And then you see how it can't fail. And then you try and get it to mentally fail in your head for 5 years, like I tried with Bitcoin, and you can't. I know a lot of people believe that it can, and they're going to pull the rug one day. I don't see the need to do that anymore, right?
No.
The dollar could fail too, but they never attempted to make it fail. Why? Because it's not in their best interest. Why would they? It doesn't make any sense at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
This same little plan could have been carried out over the course of time, and they could have tanked Bitcoin in this time to really get people off the scent, off the trail, And then we're
Yeah.
all just like, oh yeah, man, this is just one big scam, dude. We're out of here. It's like, no, it's part of the plan. It's part of the
Yeah.
plan. You can't tell me that Bitcoin's not going to have value in the near future. Like, don't stop telling me that. Even my best friends who I talk to in here, like, don't tell me that. Okay, just that's the point in which it's like Bitcoin's not going anywhere. Now, are there other projects and are there other things
Of course. Yeah.
all of that help us really expand our minds and that we have even more opportunity to profit from and be a part of? Yes,
Mhm.
there is.
Yeah.
But near future, don't be biased. Step
Yeah.
back and look at all of it. You
I
know,
just,
like dad and I argued with the Bitcoiners at the Silver Symposium. We ended up like, it ended up being like kind of like, okay, whoa, like hands on pistols, like, hey, we're just telling you it's got some issues, man, and there's some other things coming along that are really looking good here. And they're like, there's nothing else. It
yeah.
is
Right.
it is
Yeah.
determined. It is from the future. It is going to be the currency that everyone will use in the world. And you're
It's,
like, oh, I don't think so. I don't think it
no,
was made for that. I don't think it was
it's,
made to do that.
no, it's way better use as collateral and savings than it is spending. Just, it doesn't make any sense. I hear people say this. Okay, I heard a certain YouTube channel guy say this, and I've heard him say it a dozen times, and I love the man, but I'm not going to throw him under the bus here. But he says this a lot. He says, "Well, okay, well look at Germany just sold 50,000 of these things. What's going to happen in the future with Bitcoin is people are going to sell 1 million of them at one time, and then they're just going to crash the price." And I'm thinking, yeah, do you understand how stupid that move is? Like, because like one day Germany's going to go, wow, we had 50,000 of those things. How are we going to get 50,000 more? Where are
I
we going to
can't
get them?
imagine making a worse decision.
I can't. Well, I mean,
Honestly, today, I can't
yeah, no, when
fathom
you
it.
and I first started this channel, I think our very first or second show we did, right?
Hmm.
We talked about what a blunder China had made by banning mining in their country. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard this, but this is floating around the internet now, and I believe it to be true. They're about to overturn all crypto bans, like all of them. They've realized, uh-oh, what did we do? What have we done? And now we're going to legalize it completely.
Hmm.
Like you can't fight this. This is what nations, military, and men are starting to figure out. You can't fight this.
No.
And I have so many people that come to me and say, well, what if you did this? Well, what if you did that? Armies can't destroy Bitcoin. Doesn't work like that. You can't do that. Like its network effect is so massive to this point. You can't stop it. Right?
Right.
You either succumb or understand that, or you live in this world of, well, it'll fail one day. Okay. All right. Good for you. But there's some really, really smart people out there. Jason Lowry comes to mind, who wrote an entire book, by the way, as a colonel in Space Command Force or whatever he is in the military. He's not an idiot. He's tried to figure out how to get it to fail. And he can't, right? That's what we're all coming to. This crypto, if done with enough intelligence, enough great code, with enough great support and a network effect like XRP and many other coins, when you have that, you can't stop it. Like it's viral. How are you going to, you can't just hit it with a hammer. Like,
no.
You need to stop thinking about it in those terms, and you need to start coming to terms with the fact that you have something that you should support, because its technology and its use case going forward for mankind is brilliant, brilliant. Instead of saying, oh, well, we'll get it to fail one day and then they'll all look like idiots. Oh, well, good luck. I mean, good luck on that one. That's what they're leaving their hat on.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we have some celebrities in the house here. Have you noticed?
Yeah, let's get to the chat. What's up, everybody? All right, we were running on as the Stapletons do.
We got Northern, we got World Be Free. Melissa's in the house. Professor's in the house. Look at
I like the Liminal. What a cool name. Those predictions are absurd. I love that. Thank you.
What predictions?
I loved your last point, Dad. On the it's all a network. It is all crypto is like all a network. It's like if this one doesn't thrive, then it hurts the rest. You know, it's an environment where like the whales and the fish, cohabitate here. I'm thankful that I look at it that way. There's no programmed like this is right. It's not black and white to me. And the more research you do, it just becomes more and more apparent. But it also becomes more and more apparent how special the other things are. Why we would talk about this, Dad? It's because people are so passionate in our group about XRP and XLM and XTC and HBAR and all these other amazing things that you can't do enough reading to understand what those companies are literally creating and doing all around the world. And to have a shot at taking over the SWIFT system and the Treasury and global investment banking all around the world, like you said, you can't stop it. You can't stop this. In my mind, you can't stop the network of blockchain, artificial intelligence, and the advancement of the internet, both software and hardware. You just
no, you can't do it.
Those are three. That creates an entity that is just a self-propelling, globe-changing. This is we believe the system, this legacy system, and we've done this way for a long time, but it's gonna look different in how we do it in the future. It always is.
Yeah, I want to talk to something because it was a bit of a scare last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, when the internet for a lot of people went down. And since then, I've had a lot of people contact me about how, they have control of the internet and they can shut it down whenever they want. And I don't doubt that for 1 minute. I really don't. Mm-hmm. But I would like to say this to that. And because it's really important for all of us to know right now. I worked for some pretty wealthy people in my lifetime. They're pretty much what I would call elite, in particular 2 different families. So one of the things that you have to understand about what those people's lives are is they don't do anything for themselves. They do everything on the backs of others. Okay, so let's say the global elite, governments, whatever you want to call them, had the ability to shut the internet down, to crush Bitcoin or XRP or the rest of it. Okay, all right, I'm cool with that. And you're the guy that only believes in gold and silver and you got a bunker. Okay, well, where are you going to get your gas at? Where are you going to get your food from? Where are you going to get your water from? Where are you going to get all those things? Okay, but that's at the base level. That's Mad Max world that most of these guys are talking about. And Mad Max world doesn't work for anybody. But you know who it really doesn't work for? The elite.
Right.
They lose all control. They lose all power. They lose all manipulation. They lose all the benefits. They lose all the luxury toys. You can't run a yacht without a crew. You think they're just going to sit? They're going to sit at home and twiddle their thumbs and say, "Isn't this cool? We shut the internet down. It's been 12 hours now, man. Look at us. Look how cool we are. This is awesome." And about 2 days later, they're going to go, "I'm sick of this crap, man. Let's take it back to where it was. What are we doing? I didn't gain anything from this. What did I gain?"
Dad, I could never get my crew back because they all got so spooked that they drove back home to their families. You know, they're not coming back. They're not driving back to Florida, man.
And these
I don't think that's the
doomsday
long-term
boomer
plan.
guys are sitting around telling me all this doomsday stuff that are going to shut it down. And I'm like, for what gain? To what avail? What is it obtained? Explain that to me. Where's the math?
They're shooting rockets off in my backyard to get us all more internet. Okay?
Right.
Everybody?
I know, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
SpaceX is in my backyard right here.
Right.
Watch the last launch. You can, if you look hard enough at night, you can see them flying around there.
Yeah.
That's probably a little bit better of a gauge of the future than let's turn the power off and let them all eat each other. Yeah. At least I hope, you know. I really hope. I hope so. But it seems a little more, you know. That's the thing about plans, Dad. Everybody's got a plan, you know, but that's where the Joker kind of had a point. You know, it's like you need something to come into the environment that's new and different and inspires people. And I personally, I don't believe that that's chaos. I don't believe in chaos. It's why I'm not into politics. It's why I'm not really a voter. I don't believe in those people. I don't trust them. I trust Alan, and I trust the crew. I've seen you guys. I've seen what you talk about. I've seen what you say. I see what you support. You're worth supporting to me, ground up. And we talk about it, Dad. We talk about it, but living it to me is actually putting my mind in this space. And what can we build together? Can we continue to inspire each other to hold on? And hopefully, like what you and Simon are doing with IBC University, like bravo, because we're gonna need those options before, in the middle, and after this bull run comes. And that's what, if any of you have those kinds of ideas or things to share with each other, please do. You know, please check it out first and get into it. But this is what we need to share with each other in this community. You know, a lot of you are going to make it. A lot of you are going to be very, very rich, in my opinion. And you need to understand how to protect it and keep it, and not let it fall off the cliff like we all did 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Or you don't sell it all and you ride it like my dad did. You know, we've got to create our own plan. You know, the world's going to go out and it's going to do what it's going to do. And individually, we have very little control over that. But what we do have control of is what we're doing on an individual level and what we can inspire each other to do. And I just had this amazing crypto chat. It was a real quick 5-minute chat with one of my best friends last night, you know, and he's all fired up about it. And it was so cool to just give him big picture. I was like, dude, it was just honesty. It wasn't even opinion. It was just like, this is what's happened. This is where I think it could be going. We'll see.
Those are such great conversations because
it's so fun.
It's sort of like Ian's question was, you know, do you see next year as a bull run? Yeah, I do. It's so funny to me that the only people that talk that as if that we're not in a bull run now are people that own XRP, like because their coin hasn't gone up. But
Yeah.
Solana's up what 7 times?
Mm-hmm.
It's up over 3 times. There, a lot of coins are in a bull market. They've been in a bull market for a while now. So
Yeah.
it's coming, and it comes later to altcoins typically down the road, but it is coming because liquidity, the business cycle is on its way here. This is evident all over the world. It hasn't hit yet because we haven't reached bottom yet. You got to, like, what happens is they start adding fuel, knowing they're in a nosedive headed for the ground, but you're still headed down before it comes back up the other side. When that sort of volume of liquidity hits this market, it's going to be breathtaking, guys, and it's going to last, I don't know, minimum 6 months to a year and a half. Yeah, and liquidity is coming, Professor, big time. I was looking at the Nikkei market, Japanese market, and it's just crazy the volume that they're pushing around right now. So it's cool to watch happen in real time.
The comments are so good.
Yeah,
I love you guys. Alchemist says, here we go, Dad. Are captains prevented from learning to swim so as to go down with the ship?
that's
like,
good.
it's an honorable thing when your captain does not take any swim training,
Yes.
and he's just all in. He's all in. It's like, dude, we're going from Liverpool to New York,
Yeah.
and I'm all in.
I
need that
have,
guy at the helm, honestly. I want
I
that
have
guy
my
always.
I have my Yacht Masters license, unlimited, and one of the things they make you do is tread water for 30 minutes. So it's totally different than the U.S. Coast Guard. It's way more hands-on. You have to stitch a pig up. You have to, navigate a boat with, you have
You had to crawl through like smoke tunnels and like
well,
all manner of fire suppression and
no, really, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
No, I remember you doing it, and I had to do the where you're in the pool and you've got like the life raft, but it's overturned, and you're in Gumby suit, and you have to like learn how to thrust and like overturn the life raft while you're swimming.
While you're swimming in the water, yeah.
Yeah, which is not, and it's heavy, especially when it's wet. So you've got to like, not only do you have to come up, but you have to have leverage.
Yeah.
And like, it's crazy, man.
You have to put this Gumby suit on and jump off the high dive, not the low dive, the high dive. So when you hit the water, because the ship's usually pretty tall, so they make you go off the high dive. When you hit that water in a Gumby suit, it's one of the most frightening things I've ever done in the water, because you don't know. It's so big on you because it's meant to hold a bunch of water inside to trap the water, and you're in this big, Michelin man suit, and you're trying to get off the bottom of the pool, and it's like they actually had to have divers because people couldn't like get up in it, and it was right.
And Dad, it's like it's awkward like when you hit the water because it's just one big air pocket.
Yep.
So when you hit the water, it kind of projects you in a direction that's not naturally down, and then the whole neck of the suit starts filling with water. So coming up is brutal. I got to do that too. It's
that was
good for you, people.
They made us go. You have to drive a boat. And then they say, okay, well, you can't use your port engine now. And then pull up to this dock that's got a 5-knot current. They made you actually drive and maneuver stuff. And it was good. I liked that course a lot. I aced that one because I had so much practical experience. There was a lot of people that you could tell they're like, Well, I'd never really driven a boat before. Well, what are you doing getting a captain's license? It's like, what are you doing here, man? Like, what are you wasting all
Yeah.
our time for? But
Yeah.
you know how it is. Uh,
I do.
enough about captain stuff.
Yes. That was that. I love that comment though.
That was
Love your
good.
comment. I'll always love your comments, Alchemist.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Thank you
tomato
so much
Pete.
for being in here, everybody. We got 72. That's perfect, baby. That's sweet spot.
And,
Um, any questions? Anything you all want to chat about? Let's go. Let's go. Um,
uh, yeah, everybody's hanging a lot on this SEC ruling, this final thing with XRP. I hope I'm wrong about this statement. I don't think it's going to matter much. I really don't. I know there is a lot of people that have been saying for a long time, well, when it's completely cleared out of the courts, we're going to get, but I don't know that it's going to skyrocket after that day. That's not what's going to bring XRP adoption. XRP adoption could be related in the sense that I'm really looking forward to somebody coming out and saying, well, this is how we move our money around the world. We use, we use this, we use XRP, and this is how we're going to do it from this point forward. Even if it's in the background, even if it's just like somebody like PayPal that says this is how we do it, it's big. That'll be really, really big. Going forward, we found this to be the most effective, best way, biggest market, biggest network. So, yeah. So we're going to really need a bank or an institution to really hang its hat on it. And as soon as that day occurs, all the other banks are going to be, well, we use that, don't we? Oh, we are using that. We are part of the XRPL. Wait a minute. Why don't we put what are we doing? How many of those coins do we own? That's going to trigger the use case and everybody piling in. So, yeah. Do you have any really good questions in there, Brett?
I got Liminal crushing it. Access to government controlled industrial energy is the fatal flaw to proof of work, in my opinion. I think that's a really good point.
Say that again.
But you know, really good point. It. We're all using all the energy, and how are we going to use it?
What's the question again? I didn't get the question
Not a
wrong.
question, it just a comment, Dad. Here, we'll throw it up. Um, Access to government controlled industrial energy is the fatal flaw to proof of work, in my opinion. Um, I
What?
it's just interesting to me because I've been really churning on
Access to government
Sean really
control.
fired me up on Bitcoin recently. Um, because I the army is ready to fire bullets into its hull at any moment, like they're on standby. um and what my dad and I have tried to discuss since the beginning of this channel isn't about being Bitcoiners. It's about understanding the value of what it's going to be in the near future for us, for the whole crypto ecosystem. What it has meant, it is going to lead into what it means, say, near future. Long term, I think you all really understand proof of stake, and you understand XRP, and you understand ISO coins, and you understand all these different amazing things, like we do. And it's just like I'm ready to talk about it all in a like that point to me was just a cool statement of ways of us thinking about proof of work, energy, what the government is actually going to control versus what we own.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to gain like Dad, like we were talking about musical chairs.
Yeah.
Uh, there's going to be a huge musical chairs moment. It's already starting to happen with Bitcoin. So, when the chairs start running out, and
Yeah.
supply and demand, um, that's where I kind of see still like I
Okay.
still
I got
work.
to comment on that because I couldn't disagree more, actually,
Mhm,
with that statement in
mhm,
so many different ways. But the biggest one that hits me the most is what people don't gather or really grasp about Bitcoin in particular is time's out, time's up.
yeah,
Okay, you don't have any time left, right?
mhm,
Like there's what, less than 1 million coins to be mined over the next 140 years,
mm,
or 100 until 2140. Like, dude, I don't care how much electricity for free they get it, and they think that they're going to print all this Bitcoin up and just run away with it, I think is what he was implying. But the bottom line is there's no coins left.
mhm,
There's no coins left, dude. You've got to purchase on the market, okay, those coins. So I would say I would make that same statement if you're considering about the way that they're going to manipulate or control in the future is more like this, and we've talked about this. But you can print money, print it physically. I think it costs 3-4 cents to make a bill, right? We've talked
mhm,
about this, right, Brian? So
yeah,
you can make $100 bill, right, for 3 or 4 cents. So let's call it 3 cents, and you have to make what, 70,000 of them, right? Or whatever, however many it is. Yeah, I did the math one day. It's $18 in real money if you hand somebody $100 bills to buy a Bitcoin. That's a whole lot cheaper than trying to manipulate the energy market. You could just simply start paying everybody in the world $100 bills, stacks of $70,000 cash for each Bitcoin that costs you nothing to make. You understand?
yeah. Well,
That would be a
yeah,
good use case of your phony money. Yeah. Anyway,
I
um,
I love that point, Dad, and it got me thinking. Well, they're going to manipulate both. They've manipulated money. They've manipulated gold. They've manipulated energy. They've manipulated politics. They've manipulated the media. They've manipulated everything.
totally agree. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I love your take on that. Like, I get that.
I think
Um,
the biggest misconception I think right now that people have about crypto, in particular, people that don't understand what Bitcoin means to the crypto market, is they don't understand that it's too late for all the other coins to catch up. That's my opinion. Like,
mhm.
there's no way that Litecoin is going to get $70,000. There's no way XRP gets to $70,000 unless
Mhm.
it's the only coin used, and we evaluate the value of all things into XRP,
Yeah.
which is it's possible. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying, but when you're first adopter and you're so far out ahead of everybody else, and now you have presidents and nations making these coins and producing electricity to create these coins, you're looking at a insurmountable mountain to climb. You can be part of it and you can gain market share against it, but you've now got to come into a bunch of old guys in an old stuffy room that just finally started to wrap their mind around Bitcoin. And you're going to walk in there and tell them, no, this is more important than Bitcoin, although there's 100 billion of them. How are you going to do that? How you, when you can't even find a Bitcoin on the market by that point?
Yeah.
It'll all be consumed. It'll all be gone already. This is what I mean by it's too late for people. It's, this
Mhm.
is why you're seeing institutions and nation states getting into mining because it's too late for you. I hate to say that, but that's what I really believe. And one day, see, now I've said this 100 times on my show. I thought that it would be the next bull run when governments would get involved with Bitcoin. I thought this would be the institutional bull run. The institutions, like,
Pass regulation and
yeah. And then,
make it look like crap one last time, so
like,
they can have a little more
yeah, like
control.
what's happening with states and universities are actually allocating 2 to 5% of their net worth to Bitcoin. That's happening right now. That's
Hmm.
what I mean by institutionals. But I thought, the next bull run, 4 or 5 years, whatever it is from now, would be the nation states would start jockeying per position to get the remaining coins. But that's already starting to happen now. If you look at Argentina, that's their game plan. You look at Bukele's already started that. And now we have two presidential candidates who've already come out publicly and said, oh, I'd love to have that on our books. The most important, arguably, the most important financial nation in the world, the presidential candidates are saying we should have that on our books. They're that's that's 4 years ahead of what I thought it would be.
Wow. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. I mean, it truly is way ahead of schedule. I know
Yeah.
it's for us, but Atlantic
It
living, yeah.
must, the works and the plan must be looking really good. Hey, Atlantic, thank you. You were the one who really kept asking us about posting them and pushing it, and we, Dad and I, just had these issues with his internet and me doing the editing for the channel. Joanna does a lot of my dad's videos too, but I edit videos like this, and so just to get them, and then the membership we used did not work well. It ended up like expiring, like as I had like two. I had Landon's video edited, Dad, and like anyway, it was a mess. It was a mess. We will do it with all our friends again, I'm sure next year, but we're gonna post it right away. Um, that's when the crew really wants to see it. But for all of you tuned in to see all of us with Dave and Judy, um, we had so much fun with them. The energy that they have to bring, and he's a go to channel for me now, um, because I need that energy, and I he's somebody who made it. He's somebody who was able to retire on the last run, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He did Cardano right, and
Yeah.
that's what you and I were trying to do, Dad. We were a little late on it, but we were like super believers.
Mhm.
Cardano is still way ahead of schedule. It's still early, in
Early,
my
yeah.
opinion, for Cardano. Way early. We still got to go through the investors Ethereum years, I guess. Even though I feel like we've all been cutting this thing down for the last 10 years, haven't we?
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is really the network we're still gonna like wheel and deal through. Really?
Yeah.
It's why we all love XRP, right? Efficiency, speed, and cost. Low
Yeah.
cost. And it's just it was that's what and that's another positive to XRP is like the way it's being rolled out, and kind of its secrecy in a way, um of what's going to happen with all these different things with it. Ethereum, it was just all right now, up in your face, everybody creating on this network right now. Like I've said on here a bunch of times, Dad, little bighorn. You got to go and capture, you got to get all the little schools on board, and then you can take over the Alamo. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the fact that it's still 50 cents and that we can all still buy this stuff, you guys, that We can get
Yeah.
ISO points for nothing. For nothing. Woo!
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
exciting. We are
It's
still early, and it is still very exciting, by the way.
Yeah, it's really exciting. There's so much. It's going to change so many people's lives in this chat and the group and the whole crew. It's just great. Um, Morgan, good to see you in here, girl. Thanks. Or I think it's a girl. She said one time, right? Maybe not.
Our Pennsylvania farmer.
Pennsylvania. Either way, it's
A
really
beautiful.
my book. Dairy farmers, gotta love them. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I I really well. First of all, we have a little. If we can nail down my son on a date or a time, um, there's we need to contact Dave this week. Actually,
Yeah. Yeah, we're
because
gonna go. We're gonna go be on their channel. It sounds like.
yeah, so they want to do something with their channel with us. So
Can't wait.
I think Judy was really taken by the chemistry between the two of us, and they really want to expand on some of that, and that'd be really kind of cool.
Yeah.
Really cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited to work with other people, and every time we try and plan something, we just get times and juggles, and nobody's schedule works, and it's just nuts. But oh,
I've got Wednesday off, and I on Sunday. But if we do in the mornings, Dad, I'm in. So just to let you know, and let's get this thing done with Dave and Judy.
I'll text you his phone number, and then you can call him after the show.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Vicky! By the way, also, I will be on Brad Kime's show this Friday morning.
What?
Well, that's right.
Wow.
Is it the second this Friday?
Young Bradley. Let's look.
I'm on this show the second, whenever that is.
Yeah, that's the 2nd of August. Right on.
Yeah. Yep. So, any questions any of you would like me to ask Brad? Post them, because I will. I'm not afraid. Brittany's in the house. No
Life
way.
with Glee.
She was like on travel or something for a while, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Legend.
And
yeah, I feel like Brittany's probably always doing road trips. That's the feeling that I get. But yeah, she seems super cool. The friends I've made on here, I just can't wait to build that in the future with all of you. Peaky, he and I make an effort to just send each other a really positive life message every week. He's been even better about it than I have. And you're so strong to me, dude. You are so strong and so open and so like just the way that I love to live and be. And so being your friend is amazing, dude. Same with Sean. I could talk to Sean 5 hours a day, easy. Cannot wait to come out to Daytona someday and just see your world and your life, dude, and get some brews with you. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Anywho,
and
it's a little Care Bear for all of you.
I'm sorry, I missed who you were talking about there, Brad.
I was talking about Sean, and then I was talking about XRP, Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah. Oh right.
Dear Andrew.
Yeah.
And then
Peaky was on.
Simon's in the house.
I was listening to. I caught some of Zach's live stream when he was waiting for the Trump speech yesterday. I caught some of that while I was working on my trailer, and Peaky was being mentioned in there a couple times. He's a big celebrity in the XRP community. If you guys don't know who that is,
oh yeah,
he's the man.
Mm-hmm. Hey Sean, this is a reminder on the live right now. What you told me Um, you're going to need to come on here and talk about it. I want you to pull the trigger and go on Brad's show and talk about it. Um, it's um, it's just it's the XRP related thing that it's what really clicked for me about the whole thing, about the whole implementation of it, about what it could mean to the world. And I just can't wait for Sean to share that. And I'm not going to share our private conversation about it because he's done more research than probably any of us on all of it. And I can't wait to see you cook. Let the legend koozies coming soon. Okay, legend merch coming soon, everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Dad, what do you got?
I want to answer a couple of these questions. I'm sorry, Professor. I don't really, I mean, I saw the info and he's talking about the privacy of XLM and XRP. I saw the article. Somebody sent it to me. Read it. That was written by, and then I also watched a little YouTube video on somebody did it. Who was that? That was a while ago, a week or so ago. Anyway, I don't really have an opinion. I think it's possible. What they're talking about, what the question basically is out there is it, are you really private? Are you really, or are you exposed through these networks? And in my opinion, probably. That's what I'm going to say about that. But you're exposed in every aspect of every part of your life right today. So I don't know that you can hide from the system. If you think that your bank account isn't known by all and every penny that goes in and out of it isn't exposed or known about, is really sort of like you're just living under a rock if you believe that. So, yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion on that one. Sorry, Professor. I'm usually a little more opinionated than that, but I don't. They see everything and they know everything, and it's kind of hard to hide it. So why would you? The only thing I can recommend going forward is I really believe in IBC. You should really look into what Simon and I do on Tuesday nights. It's going to help you understand what that all means to be your own bank, so you don't have to rely on banking as much. The other thing that I'm really working on is I'm working with a company to form trusts, solid trusts that are real. The backbone of you and your family and the lineage coming after you is unbreakable. That's the kind of stuff I'm working on right now, because everybody in this chat right here is going to do financially really well. And I want you to not squander it. And I want you to not end up in the same boat you're in. And then the huge crypto opportunity got away from you. You capitalized on it. You hit a home run, and then you got to the dugout and you passed out. It's not what we want to do. We want to make sure that the future of your life depends upon the profits in which you've made now. So we're doing a lot of work in the background to make sure all that happens. We are really close to nailing down some products for some people. We already have 2 or 3 people that have already gotten started on their IBC. It's going to be awesome. And I'm really hoping to share all that with everybody, because when you understand that you can use your own money over and over and over and over again, instead of losing it to the bank and they use your money over and over and over again, it's huge. It's really is a big game changer.
Nice. Hey, Jay, man, thanks for standing up for me, man. I appreciate that.
Northern Living, I
appreciate that.
I don't know that that's accurate with the trusts in which I'm talking about. It precedes, date-wise, it precedes the birth of Canada. So it might be viable for you. Just saying. Yeah. It's old maritime stuff. Yeah.
Oh boy.
What do we got? What, a
Uh,
guy anything juicy in here?
yeah.
All of it, right?
Um, let's see. Extreme said XRP ESDR buyback. Is that possible? Um, Slave said rapid payments. David Schwartz said there will be no buyback. I
I
haven't dug into that. Dad, have you?
I would just like to say this: David Schwartz says a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
David Schwartz has said more things, and then a week later said the opposite. I love the guy. Don't get me wrong; he's smarter than all of us in this room. But I don't know anybody that's more profound in his statements. And then a week later, it seems like he doesn't even remember what he said. So just grain of salt with that. Grain of salt. That's all I got to say. Because I take a man for his word, and then his word changes, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. I know, I get it. Things change, and the players change, and there's a lot of movement in crypto. So a lot of it is justified, I'm sure. But I would just keep that in mind. I don't think he's lying. I think things change and evolve as time goes forward. What's so funny?
People are clever, man. I love
Yeah.
it. Alchemist, I was laughing at large loon contingent. That was great. Hilltop got my application approved this week. IBC. Let's go.
I'm happy for you, brother.
Let's
That
go.
is awesome. It's gonna. I know you already know this, but it's life changing. It really is becoming your own bank. It's just so cool. It's
Yeah.
honestly, guys. I've been in crypto for so long, and I love crypto so much, and I see the future of it all. I can honestly say that I'm as excited about everybody getting an IBC account as I am them getting a crypto account.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's that important. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I'm going to ask Brad Kimes. He actually here's the one that most people don't know. Well, I don't know if I should say it like that, but let's just say that both he and DAI have turned a corner on Bitcoin. Let's just put it like that. They're not stupid. They're like, well, wait a minute, it's going to be an ETF. I think I'll buy some. So they've both turned the corner on that. When for what, a decade they've been bad mouthing it. So that's what happens with Bitcoin. People bag on it forever and ever and ever, and then one day they get consumed by it. It happens to all of it.
Yeah.
Every great economist in the world hated it, and now they all own it. Mm-hmm. Ask yourself, why does Brad Garlinghouse, who has literally 3 billion XRP coins, why does he need Bitcoin? Why would he need that? He doesn't. Why does he own it then? Why does the creator, Charles Hoskinson of Cardano, need Bitcoin? He doesn't.
Oh.
He owns it. You can't.
I mean, it makes you think. If you're the CEO of a company right now, and you need a 10% year, you need a 10 to 15% year minimum.
Yeah.
What are you buying? What else are you buying? This year to 1 year from now.
Yeah.
I think you have to look at Bitcoin.
Let's just step back a second. Okay, I'm a salesperson, let's say, and I'm going to go to the endowment of the University of MIT, or that's probably a bad example. Florida State University, and I'm going to walk in the door, and I'm going to say, "Guess what, guys? You know what you need to do? You need to buy XRP and put it on your books." There's not a single person that's going to say, "Yeah, that's a good idea." Not they're all going to look at it like it's gambling. They're going to
Yeah.
look at it like, "Well, how much commission is this guy making?" No, I don't know. Half the people in the board aren't even going to ever heard of it. But
They're
when
just
you
gonna see the price chart. They're gonna like, what?
do I think they'd make more money in the long
Hasn't
run?
moved.
Probably would make more money in the long run. But
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to kick in the old stinky conservative doors that fast. That's what I'm talking about. Bitcoin is kicked the door open, and all of us have to be thankful. Like the ETF of Ethereum just launched last week. The next is going to be Solana or XRP. Is going to have it. I mean, think about this, guys. It's a trickle down deal. And when you start to walking indoors and you get to say, "Hey, well, we have an ETF," then you've come to the table. It's not going to be, because Judge, whoever decided that, we've ruled against this thing that's been over the XRP's head for all these years. That's not enough at those board meetings. It's just not.
Right.
And you have to put yourself in those shoes instead of being a fanboy and only, "Hey, I only believe in XRP and I only hear XRP. I love
This
XRP."
is what I own. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look at it like, well, people know what all around the world. People know what Toyotas are, right? They just know what they are all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get somebody, "Oh, I'll buy a Toyota. I've heard of those. People like those. They're dependable. I'll buy it." Yeah.
Yeah.
Becky.
Yeah. I love it, Simon. The funny thing about habits of the wealthy,
Yeah.
they own both teams.
It's also another point too, that you have to understand. The wealthy don't care about making money. I know you've been told the whole different thing your whole life, but when you have $4 billion laying around in your bank account, you want to make sure that you don't have $3 billion next year. You don't care about getting 5. You care about not having 3. It's a whole different mindset. Most people that are under millionaire status don't understand that at all. Sorry, somebody just called me. That was Captain Murphy just called me.
What?
I know, right? I shouldn't get live on the air, except there could be some, choice words being spoke.
Dad Peaky said, I used to say when I was working on the boats that my rapper name was Little Boat Nasty.
Right.
Little Boat Nasty that's good, bro. What if you named your boat that? Like if you had boat in the title and it was Little Boat Nasty, I kind of like that. You might attract, a certain crowd to that boat though that you might not be interested in. If you're a, conservative Care Bear one woman guy like myself, might have a little more action come in your direction than you're really looking for on that. What what else is going on, crew? What questions do we have? So happy to be in here, everybody. This is so fun. Simon, I don't know if you caught it earlier, but loving on you and Dad and Elizabeth doing IBC University, and just keep it going, brother. What I mentioned is everybody's going to need options as far as things to run into, and Dad talking about us getting involved with a certain company and trying to really figure out the trust angle and share that with everybody. Simon has been such an advocate and really pumped us doing the crypto bot, which is just an excellent, you know, excellent no thinking trade system for us. For all of us who would like to be little day traders, it is the perfect thing for you. So please hit Simon up for that. And it's going to be fun to see what else comes along. Um, there's going to be things like we've talked about, Dad, where, um, where we're looking at the money market and, liquidity, and we're like, okay, well, how do I get out of this to be able to get this loan or to be able to get this house or to be able to make this big purchase without making it a taxable event? And us getting into those options in the future, I think it's going to be huge. Um, Not just for you and I, but to be able to share that information with people, um, who are in our position now or just coming into crypto and they got to wait for their next bull. Um, Something like IBC is huge. Like just the thought of starting a retirement account now. And once if I do it diligently and I'm into year 5 or 6, this thing starts running on me. It's really cool, you guys. I
Yeah.
really love what my dad and Simon are throwing down. So, plug and play, baby. You're doing a great job, Simon. All over the board, man. I love what you're doing right now. I really love what Cody's doing right now. Everybody, please check out Money Paradise. His last 2 videos are my favorite ones, even over the video that I did with him.
Hey,
Um,
we don't plug people who aren't in the chat.
yeah. I hope.
What's in it for me?
Where is he? Huh? Traitor. Yeah.
I'm gonna call my boat coins.
Coins.
Coins, just big letters across the side of it. Just let them guess which ones made me rich, Yeah. Alan, crypto guy. I love that. I was like, well, what can I call myself today? I'm a crypto guy. So yeah, that's what you call me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. I had to step off the screen and take a sip of something.
Just don't panic, Cody. I know you're in the background listening. We got you, brother.
Uh-huh. I commented earlier, dude. So we are very sorry, dude. We did not get your last comment.
Yeah, right.
It was very uncool of us.
Well, first of all, it wasn't highlighted as a super chat. So, there's that. We could have, actually called you out then. Mm-hmm. We don't do super chats. Although I'm not opposed, but it's not why we're here.
I had to go back and rewatch your river video, Cody. It's incredible. The wisdom that you laid down with everything that you were talking about, it just hit me, man. It just hit me right. I was like, wow. And then I asked my dad, I was like, man, have you seen this? And he had listened to it in the car on his trip to San Diego. And he's like, yeah, dude, he got it. He nailed it.
He got that.
Yeah, he nailed that.
Yeah.
And it's so fun when that happens. When you're off the cuff, like the 3 of us are, and Simon, and, it's just when you're letting it flow and it actually, what you want to come through comes out, and it's special.
Oh, crawfish nailed it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Dude.
That's what you call it. Right there. Ripple.
So good. Hey, how good is the crawfish in the picture in there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the crawfish in?
He's just he's just in full. Is he in full attack mode, like a funnel
Yeah.
web spider coming at you?
What was the name of the crawfish in Little Mermaid?
Sebastian.
Sebastian. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What? Who was that? Who's the actor that did that?
um, I don't know. If
That was
anybody
so
knows, throw it in the
good.
chat.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sha la la
somebody will
la la
remember.
la la la. I wanna kiss
The
the girl.
staple rappers. Yeah. Oh,
Be
did you?
nasty.
Oh, Pinky, I'm so glad you brought that up, dude. He actually said, Trump in his speech yesterday said stable coins. He did. He said it. I don't think he meant to say it. I think he meant to say stable coins, but he said stable coins. And then it sort of sounded like, the really basic, the term staple kind of means that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that like the way he said it was just so cool. I was like, I caught that. That's cool. Peaky caught it too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's cool.
Becky, how you feeling, girl? We got to find out how you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I heard. Hopefully, you're just doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was. I really wanted to talk about today. I didn't want to make this whole thing. I didn't want to make this whole thing about the Trump speech, and thank God it hasn't been. But
Yeah.
he said something in there that I thought was the best thing he said. I'm totally paraphrasing, but essentially he said, for 10 years now, you people in this room have understood inflation, and you understood what it meant, and you got it, and you got what here's another thing he said a lot. He said cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, in that order each time. Wasn't an accident. I know Bitcoin maxis want to say, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He shouldn't have said crypto. Or no, he did that intentionally because it's bigger than Bitcoin. This is an industry and it's a massive movement. So if you're a maxi, okay, good for you. Cool, no problem. You got a good coin there. No problem. But when he said the people in this room understood inflation and the manipulation of the US dollar, he said it in such a humble way. The man is never humble, ever.
Mm-mm.
He said it in a way that was so humbling to him that it was like, you guys in this room got that. And you got something that is the biggest fight against inflation, which is crypto, Bitcoin, is what he said. And I was like, wow, that was the part that he finally acknowledged to the world. Hey, these people aren't just off their rocker over here. These people have found out that they can create scarcity with money, and they did it, and they nailed it. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
I'm playing doorman for the dogs here today. So.
Probably a rooster out there too. Yeah, we both really like to talk to you, Becky. Love you a lot. Yeah, prayers, synergy, everything that I know how to do, and send, and it would be really great to talk. Yeah, I can't wait to talk to you.
Yeah, prayers to Becky before you go to bed tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Girl needs our love. She has our love. She needs our prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Such a cool community we have here. Sometimes I just get blown away by it. I don't really, you can't understand it all until you've been part of it, and then when you've been part of it, I tried to explain it to my boss. I was out on the boat with him. I said, this YouTube thing I'm doing, it's bigger than a YouTube channel. He's like, oh yeah, whatever. All you YouTubers, rah, 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 rah. And I'm just like, no, it's bigger than that, dude. It's not a YouTube channel. It's like a community. And
Yeah.
it's we're not all just, I don't know. It's weird. We all come from different walks of life and we share our lives with each other. And yet we have that icebreaker that we know we can always rely on our friends to appreciate what we understand about life because we have a common goal. We have a common ground, which is crypto. It's a
Hmm.
it's no different than a hot rod club, I guess, in some ways, but we have, but we have more than that because we really have the future of mankind on our backs.
Yeah.
So we end up being part of a group of people that actually care about what's happening to all the other people who don't even get what we do.
Hmm.
It's really cool.
This
Yeah.
isn't just for fun. This is like important. This is kind of important.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
Very important.
and a lot
Yes.
of us, I think, a lot of us came to it in a very frustrated place with the system. We're
Yeah.
all we're all get frustrated with the system, people. I would bet money on that. Like
Oh,
all my friends that I talk to and text that I've met through our channel, same cat, same type of cat, same, but also that person that can learn. You know how you get just stuck
mhm.
on, like dad and I have friends that's like, there's no first ladies. Okay. They're just all dudes. Okay. All through history, all of them are dudes. Okay. And you're like, oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Listen, we made some lunch and, sir, how's everything else going?
It's so
Uh,
true. Yeah.
and so just our ability to adapt and learn and be open um, and I just love, like I told my dad this morning, I love his solo shows, and I see the evolution because I watch them all, and just the way that, like, and I've seen this with everybody else too, right? I'm seeing Cody start to really kick ass, and Simon just really continue to expand, and Melissa, and just like our community, Ghost Money, like our community is just so cool, and we're all growing in this. And to our point earlier, is anybody scared right now? Are you really like? Are you scared? I'm not scared. Dad, are you scared?
Scared of what?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. 365 times in the Bible. Don't be scared. Don't be scared every day. Okay, every day of your
Stop
life.
being
Don't
stop
be
being such a
scared.
fear.
It's just there's my Sunday sermon for the day, and
Yeah.
however you want to think about that in this. But man, I just the innovation plus the adoption is going to be felt face melting. This is going to be, yeah, this is a face melter.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's going to make a big difference, and it's so. I mean, just think about this, guys. Now, I don't want to get political or anything, but like
Oh boy.
three candidates in the race now, right? In the U.S. Sorry, guys, if you're outside the U.S. But and it's like two of them are all in, and then the third one's sitting on the sideline going, "Well, I can't speak negatively of it. Like, what am I gonna? I'm in. She's in a rock and hard place now. That's where she's at. I mean, I'm not even talking about politics now. I'm talking about the subject that we all appreciate. She's in a place of like, well, is she going to put her foot down and just go full bore and go like, Mr. Burns did on it? Or, Pocahontas? No, I don't think so. She can't. She can't.
Yeah.
You can't look
No.
at 50 million Americans with a wallet and go, well, I don't need those 50 million votes. Like
That's
that's where we're at.
why she didn't speak. It's not going
Yeah.
to work. It's not going to work.
That just proves to me that all three candidates are like, well, I don't have a problem with it. Two of them appreciate it, and the third one's like, oh, I'm not going against that. This
Right.
is what I mean when I tell people my whole life long, I observed my whole life about politics. People think politicians dictate what you and I's lives are. This is a perfect example that that is not accurate. The exact opposite has happened in the fact that crypto has overcome their beliefs of it. So now it's politically in their best interest to side with crypto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they wake up out of bed and go, well, I want to buy XRP and I really like it and I really appreciate it? No, they came to the political understanding of it's suicide if I don't. So that tells you that they didn't dictate for the rest of mankind that you and I can't have our Bitcoin or our crypto. No, that's not what happened. What happened was we overcame them through adoption and network effect. And there's your proof right there that man tells politicians what they're going to talk about. I've been saying it my whole life, but people don't believe it.
Dad. Yeah. I'd like to second that. That's the smartest thing I've heard all day. Yeah. That's the proof. That's the proof is right out in front of us. Everybody tuning in, okay? Wherever you're tuning in from, okay? You probably are looking at on the BBC and seeing American politics and stuff. You're seeing it happen. Exactly how you just said it, Dad. There's two people that are in support of it. Mm-hmm. Clearly in the beginnings of understanding it, but they know that it needs to be supported because A, you don't want to go against 50 million people, or B, like I think Trump said it, where like my kids are into it, where you look at things like self-custody and the problems with having a CBDC and what that's going to be doing around the rest of the world and how it could help industry. And there's all these positives. And then you have Kamala not even come on and talk because it's like, yeah, you can't go against this thing. That is proof of how strong, but also for some of us, it's like how much of this has been planned. Right. How much of this is just being rolled out. Because like, yeah, if you just chucked it all out tomorrow, you just flip the light switch on tomorrow, it'd melt everybody's face off,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's
so obvious to see. There's some comments about what we just said, which is, what is it? Brutus DM was, I expect Biden to sell it all before the election. I don't know why would you do that? You're talking about alienating 50 million voters for Kamala. Mm-hmm. This is the position they're in. This position they find themselves in. And then Becky said, giving away. Yeah, the choke point 2.0 thing, when you have candidates coming out against it, even if the system doesn't like the candidate that said it, it makes everybody in the world aware of, well, wait a minute, what choke point? What do you got? Well, you and I as crypto people have been knowing about it for a long time. We started the show with the fact that in the last 3 or 4 years, they've been throwing people in prison for this whole thing. And let's not forget, I would have loved to have seen this yesterday, and I didn't see it from the man who wants to be president. And this, if I were Trump, this is what I would have said. I would have come out and I would have done this. I said, listen, I was your president in 2017, when crypto exploded on the face of the planet. I think we went from like 1,500 to like 20,000 that year. Bitcoin did. Okay, so, and they squashed it. And the person that was his secretary, treasury, or whatever it was, or his finance minister, I can't remember exactly what his title was, came out and basically they opened up futures tradings in January. And literally the day after they opened up futures tradings, they crushed Bitcoin, crushed it with futures contracts. If the man really, really was humble, and if the man really, really wanted to get everybody on his page in crypto, he would have said, I made a big mistake because I believed at that time it was a threat to our nation, or it was a threat to the dollar. Because I didn't forget it. I'm bringing it up because I didn't forget it. I know what the man did, and I know what his team did. But he can now say, I'm 4 years smarter than I was then. I don't look at it like that, and I can see that was a financial mistake for this country. Now, he didn't do that, but he has opportunities going forward to do so. Whether he's not a very humble man, as we all know. But sometimes you don't want a humble guy running your show.
Neither of them are.
No.
If you think Joe or Donald is humble,
no, they're
I'm
not.
Sorry.
No,
you have not been watching them as long as I have. Like,
yeah.
Joe's got like a temper. It's like, dude, slow down. Like, you don't. Just because the reporter caught you in your lie doesn't mean you need to rip the reporter's head off. Like just walk away.
Yeah.
Just deny it. It's fine.
He plays the grumpy old man guy pretty well, doesn't he? Get off on. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Forget those clowns. What are you folks doing on this amazing Sunday?
I want Brittany
in the chat. What are you doing?
I want Brittany's life.
Yeah, I want Brittany's life for sure. I used to be that, Brittany. Like during COVID, I said it again, man. I swore I'd never say that word on my channel. I said it twice in 2 weeks. During that period of time, I got into yachting and drove all across the country and just lived out of my car. And it was insanely cool. I recommend that to everybody. I know I've brought that up a dozen times. Just do it. My friends just took their 6-month-old on a road trip from California up to Oregon to meet her grandparents, and they got an RV and did the whole thing. I was like, you guys got to make that an annual thing. And it's just this country's so cool, man. It's all the countries that I've been to are so cool.
The national parks in this country are, that's the one thing I met a lot of people from all over the world. I've been blessed that way. I've worked with a lot of people from around the world, and almost all of them, they're like, your country's okay. It was founded on really cool principles. The First Amendment's amazing. But your national park system is unbelievable. Like how you people had the foresight to do that was brilliant. And that's really lost on so many Americans. They're not out in it. They take it for granted what we have in our own backyards. There's parks everywhere, especially in the West, it seems like. But like there's just parks everywhere in this country. Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I know Ron is the lucky man of an old school. I want to say it's a pusher, isn't it, Ron? I think he's got a diesel pusher. That thing is a rig. And if you ever take that on vacation anywhere out in this direction, you got to let me know where you're at and when you're there. Ron Wood, I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Next level beauty. Nomad. That will be me in 2 weeks. Road trip from Luxembourg to Portugal.
Nice.
Yes.
That's winning right there.
That is so cool.
Are you in a caravan or what are you taking? We call them camper vans or whatever, but they call them caravans over there. What's he doing it in? I'm fixing up my camper right now, guys. The one I used to shoot videos in. I'm
I
fixing
wrote
that.
this down to ask you about it, Dad. What are you upgrading on the camper right now? Because
Whew.
you built it. My dad built it out right. Everybody, like, easy to use electrical system. All the little accessories, kind of like you build on a boat. Like, you want to overbuild it so it doesn't break down, lasts a long time, looks cool. What do you got cooking on it, Dad?
Um, I'm well, thanks to Sammy who's in here. I'm working on the solar system. I'm going to make it all solar so that I can park anywhere. So I'm making mobile panels and attaching fixed panels as well on the roof. Because there's a concept that a lot of people don't do the math. They go, oh well, I'll just put the solar panels on the roof. It makes a lot of sense, except for you want to park under a tree, right? You want to park in the shade if you can get a spot like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no sun under the shade, right? So you want a couple of panels that you can just move with a long cord and put them out in the sun while you're chilling in the shade. So I'm kind of going that angle. And then I'm in the process of marketing a few of the electronic 12 volt. They call them fridges, but they're not. They're like coolers that are 12 volt, and you can freeze. So to tell you, you can freeze ice and whatnot. And so one half's a freeze, the other half's a fridge. Well, I got enough battery bank. I'm adding to my battery banks to answer the question. I put in a shower. I put in a hot water heater, which is on demand, propane. But I'm putting a cooler in because my trailer is so old school, it has what's called an ice box. And any of you probably younger than I am probably have never seen one of these things, but it's literally an insulated tin box mounted in the wall of the trailer. That's all it is. So you buy block ice and you set it in there and it keeps everything cool in the box. Well, not many places on the road sell block ice anymore. So I started doing the math and I was like, well, I've got to be able to create my own ice. How do I do that? Because you can't throw really ice cubes in it. It just all melts immediately. So I'm like, well, how do I do that? Well, these 12 volt coolers have one side's a freezer, or some of them you can adjust to make the whole thing a freezer. So I'll freeze my own blocks of ice to keep my fridge cold with solar energy. So now I have a big cooler, but it's block cooler, but I'm going to be able to make my own block ice. So I should be able to be boondocking is what I call it, but camping off grid, if you will, for days on end without any trouble at all. So that's what I've been working on.
Nice.
And I'm going to the Bitcoin convention. I noticed somebody in here said he was from San Pedro. I don't know if you're going that, but the Pacific Bitcoin, I'm going to that in October, and I will be taking that camper. That's a trailer, small 16-foot trailer. And the wife and I are going to go down and camp on Malibu Beach.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that.
That is cool.
Yeah, I'll be at the show all day, and then, man, I can't wait for that show because I'm already lining up some stuff with some people that is really going to, not trying to name drop or anything, but I've got lunches planned with some really pretty famous economist people that you guys would know. So I'm really excited about the whole thing.
Very cool, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother has the camper. So I think Nomad's taking one of these. This is like a 370Z.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Well, that one too. And a whole
that
different.
One might be tricked out. There's a lot of different years of them.
Yeah,
but,
cool.
That's a fine choice, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Ron Wood Ron Wood has a pristine 1971 MCI 9. It's pristine, guys. Upgrades, just old school, but really cool. Unfortunately, he works too hard. He needs to be in it more often. Yeah.
Yeah, but good. What is it? I don't know. I'm a car person. I don't know what an MCI 9 is.
It's an old school.
Or an aristocrat, Becky. I don't know what that is either.
And oh yeah, aristocrats are cool. Mine's not an aristocrat. Mine's a. I don't even have a picture of mine.
Of your camper?
Of my camper, I don't.
Oh, dude, come on.
I know, right? You guys have all seen it from the inside.
Yeah, we got to show the crew here.
All the pictures I've taken of it are actually from the repair of it. Oh, here you go. Here's one that's kind of got a funky angle to it, but
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
She's a beauty, Mark.
Yeah, I completely restored it from basically the ground up.
The beginnings of our channel were inside that trailer.
Yeah.
And your meat shop, Dad. Here he is in the table. Yeah. I actually love that's still one of my favorite spots that we filmed. That's where we did the El Salvador video.
Yeah.
45
Here's a cool picture I just kind of ran through. Any of you who know who Andy Sheckman is?
Nice.
That was us at the Silver Symposium.
Man, he was a cool guy.
Really cool. He and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
They invited us to Florida and go hang out with them. We just never made it out there. Not yet, anyway.
I hope they're well.
I got a few pictures of this guy, but he's in prison, so we won't go into that.
That Atlantic asks, can you ask Lynn's opinions on other crypto projects other than Bitcoin? Secret. Love you, bro. Everybody go enjoy your day. We're starting to drop like flies.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. We want you to go enjoy your Sunday, everybody. We're just loving being here with you right now. Yeah, it's really cool trailer. Really cool trailer, Dad.
And the inside of it.
And you resurrected it from nothing. When my folks bought their property, I mean, he and I had to lift it to even get tires on it. Like we had to dig underground and lift it to get. Remember that day, Dad? It was crazy putting tires on that thing.
Yeah.
And then we got it up, and it was like, man, we got to rebuild we got to take it in to get the axle looked at and
the suspension. We flipped
the suspension. It was a whole.
Those old 60s trailers rode right on the ground. And I was like, well, that's not going to work for me because I want to go off road with it. I want to go backcountry. So I flipped the axle so it sits up like there's like 12 inches of ground clearance in it now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Peaky, please do share that with us at some point.
Yeah.
Thank you, Whitney. Thank you for being here with us.
His wife and I don't want to necessarily use her name because she's like totally opposed to being on camera or anything. Mm-hmm. Anyway, his wife and I chat often.
Oh, cool.
Text. Yeah. She's like, we gotta go, we gotta do a show, and how come you don't do a show with my husband? Well, I'm like, yeah, well, we're not really a silver channel, but yeah. But I love the both of them. They're just great people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to get down to Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want
I
to go to
do.
Florida. I miss it.
It seems like I know half the people in that state.
I'm
So
jealous, slave. All I wanted to do this weekend is go to the beach, and it's not going to happen. Just get rid of that.
what do you drive trucks for a living? Are you a farmer?
I miss just living in Fort Lauderdale, and like all of my time off is either like at the gym or like I'm reading a book about crypto on the beach,
Yeah.
just trying to think about everything. Like those were really good times.
And
And I have no
it-
excuses to not do that where I live now. Um, there'll
yeah.
be no excuses, people. You go get your tan. You go do what you want to do, especially today. That's what Sunday's all about. Come into the week doing exactly what you want and swinging hard. I know a lot of us, have fun and still party a little bit, and we come into Sunday lagging. I want to switch that around in my life. I want today to be like JoJo the Circus Mouse. Where you're like,
Yeah.
I just can't wait to get on and talk about crypto with everybody. Already that, but um, what's coming for this whole thing, we're all going to have to keep our eyes on the ball, and there's no reason to drop the ball.
No.
And
Um,
you all remind me of that all the time.
SBF has great taste, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Pantera's a badass car, dude. That
Pantera.
that Pantera is probably 20 years ahead of its time. I knew a guy in high school that had one, and they are just the badass car of the 70s, in my opinion. They in the 70s there was no better car, and they even compete today. They're that, you know.
Damn.
Oh, they're badass.
Wow, look at the back on that. It's like
Oh,
a
the back end
GT.
is mean.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, can you imagine that was made in 1970, Brent? Yeah.
Is that the
Way.
car? Is that the car in remember the second Herbie movie where they go to Monte Carlo and Herbie falls in love with another car? And I think it was the same car.
Panteras are bad. My friend had a canary yellow one, and it just, when he started up, you just could feel it in your lungs. It's such a cool. It had one of the very first, yeah, 351 Cleveland engines in it. Yeah, badass. Yeah, and that's an American-made car, believe it or not.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like it. First glimpse, I was like, "That's like Ford GT." It's like
yeah,
they designed it for like the track.
yep, yep. Peaky, I'm out too. We got to wrap
Yeah,
this thing up. Brittany, thank you for stopping by. Everybody, Oak, love you.
yeah. SBF, insane. I want you to get your 71 Pantera.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
make it happen.
Becky, prayers is what we're doing.
Paris,
As
Becky,
soon as I get off of here, I'm
Atlantic.
going to be focusing all my positive energy on that.
Yeah.
We love you a ton. Can't wait to chat.
Atlantic living. Don't threaten a guy with a good time. I will definitely get out there and rent an Airbnb. Yeah, don't tempt me. I
Mhm.
really am kind of looking for a good show to go to in like Tampa, to where it could be kind of more in the central of the state, so we can get people to come from all directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I I like the idea of doing one. Simon and I were talking about this yesterday, like Northwest, Southwest, Southeast, Northeast. Like, just nailed it. I don't know if you guys heard of it, the Bitcoin show next year is in Vegas. Big deal. That's a big deal. I'll probably be going to that one. So,
Mm-hmm.
B-Man, let's wrap this thing up.
Let's wrap it up, everybody. Go enjoy your Sunday.
Please.
Stay awesome. We love you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for supporting us and each other. We are so lucky to have this community that we do, and it's just as much yours as it is ours. So feel free to share. Feel free to reach out to us. This is what we want to do. This is what my dad and I want to do with our life going forward. Is be a part of this thing with you. So,
Sweet
Dad,
16 together.
mm-hmm.
With that,
With that, crew. Okay, let's try to get it right this time.